actually, we have a lot of really exciting things happening, and I don't know if I should do the big reveal about yesterday morning or wait till it comes up. I think I'll wait. Big reveal? Okay, so we met yesterday morning with the Golden Knights, and they are happy and excited, as we are, to partner with the clerk's office to do a monthly wedding promotion with the Golden Knights all through the season, and we are so excited about it. We have some really fun ideas that we're bouncing around. We don't know exactly what all of them will be, but you know, they have so much press and so much prestige that, again, I think that will really raise the level of understanding of what Las Vegas weddings are all about. So we are so excited about that, and hopefully we will have more details for you within a month, I would hope, because we have to move fast. The season starts, preseason starts in the mid of September, and so by October, they're having a game, and so we're going to do something. They're going to do something very special on Valentine's Day, and some things that might relate to our vow renewal to help us promote the vow renewal program. So we're just really, really excited about it. So, not everything's bad. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I didn't wear a belt or anything. Okay, so today we actually have a lot to cover, and I have a lot to show you. So ask any questions as you go along. But we just wanted to talk about Officiant training, some Marriage License Bureau remodeling that's happening, business continuity that I know you guys are very interested in, upgrades on marketing trends to update just so you know how we're doing, legislative update for 2019 to get some ideas from you of anything that you think we should be talking about, and then the promotions that we've been doing over the past year and hopefully this coming year. So how many people are new officiants that are here? Are there any new officiants? Oh, excellent. I'm glad you showed up. So in January, we started the bi-monthly officiant training for new officiants, which means every new officiant comes through our training program. We've talked to you guys about it. If you feel like you want to come, you're welcome to come. There's no charge. It's about an hour to hour and a half, depending on the questions, and we just go over all the legal aspects of it, none of the religious aspects, because I really believe in the separation of church and state. So we're state, this is legal. The religious aspects you guys need to cover, but if you're interested, you're welcome to attend. Do you have a comment or anything about the training program? Anybody that's just been through it? Has it been helpful?
Yeah. I've been through a training. I just went to the class.
Yeah, that's a training class.
Okay.
Yeah, that 1 hour, hour and a half class.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. It's so thorough. Everything, the slides there, so you can make notes and look back on it later. So yeah, it was wonderful. I highly recommend everyone to attend it.
Yeah, and again, we go through all the legal aspects that you old-timers probably don't need, but anybody that feels like they want to brush up, you do need to make a reservation, though, because it's in the Pueblo room and it's not huge. Yeah, we have approximately 300 new officiants so far this year, which is about average, actually. And people seem to be really pleased with it at the end. And then we talked about the ID cards. That's another thing we implemented in January. I think most of the people that are really active officiants have gotten their IDs. If you haven't gotten your ID, there's 2 ways to get it. You can get it straight from us. We need to get your picture. You can get it straight from us with us taking your picture. We do those at the Officiant training classes. And then if you don't want to come in, you can just send us a passport size photo and all your information, and we can make it from that. Any questions on that? And I know that some people, who has your ID? Raise your hand. Most people. And do you use them? What's the response? ID? Okay, so it's useful.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Oh, we have another microphone here. No, it's taped though too, so we'd like to tape.
I show mine to all my couples that I marry, and they think it's fantastic because they know that they're getting a licensed officiant, and it it gives them a little more peace of mind, and gotten great reviews on it.
Excellent.
If there's anyone in here who doesn't have an ID card and they want to get one, of course, we recommend it. We are going to take pictures right outside at the conclusion of the presentation, and then once we get your picture and your information, we will mail your card within 1 to 2 weeks. If you don't want to stay or can't stay to get your picture taken, we use the passport photo standards, and there is a sheet out there where you signed in that tells you all the standards of the photo that you can simply email into our clerk Officiant's email address, and then we'll process your card and mail it to you that way as well. Any questions? Thank you.
So Carl's going to kind of handle this section. We actually got some funding. So I don't know, who has been into the Marriage License Bureau in the last, 4 to 6 months? So those big counters that were there so that people had a place to write their, fill out their forms. Well, since we've gone online, we don't really need those counters, and they really impacted the space that was available in the Marriage License Bureau. And so about 4 months ago? About 4 months ago, we finally got those removed, and the space is great. So when we get these new crowds again, we will have much more space to use them, to facilitate them. We also got some funding for behind-the-scenes improvements that we think will be great, and Carl's going to kind of give you a brief overview of that.
Okay, so one of the new things we just had put in is a vending machine.
Right.
And while that doesn't sound like it's a great thing to talk about, we find that a lot of couples that come in, especially during the summer here, it's extremely hot and there's nowhere for them to go to get anything to drink. So it's strictly a beverage vending machine, which is kind of around the picture wall, if you will, where the water fountains are. So just so you know, that's there because a lot of people have asked for that. Our remodel that Lynn was talking about, so in addition to the counters coming out, we got funding to redo the space behind all of the windows as well as some of the work at the windows. One of the things for our couples that's always been difficult is the sound in the Marriage Bureau. So if you've got a lot of people waiting in line, there's a lot of noise, and you get up to the window and things don't really feel very private either, with the couples maybe giving their social security number or other personal information to get their license. So what we're going to do is we're going to have dividers put on the outside of the glass to help separate the couples a little bit more, make it a little bit more private. So that's one of the things we're going to do. We're going to put in some safety measures as well. Some film on the glass to help. Won't be bulletproof, but it will at least help because what we have there is just simply glass. And so I know all of you have probably seen at one point in banks the really thick acrylic that they have there. We still want to try to maintain, the personal connection with the customer when they come up to the window. That's really important to us. So like I said, trying to make the windows sectioned off a little bit so that they're a little bit more private. Try to refresh the area as well. We had it painted about a year ago, but inside we're trying to make a lot of improvements. So when you see us through the window, things are a lot more appealing because the building is about 13, 14 years old, and it's just time for a refresh in there. New carpet, new paint, new counters, those kinds of things as well. We installed the desks, if you will, with the computers on them. So we really try to encourage people to fill the pre-app out online before they come into our office. Of course, we have a lot of people that come into town and don't know that, and they have to use the computers. We do have one low counter one as well for people that might be in a wheelchair or can't stand at the counter. So please be aware of that. It's on the far wall where the marriage certificate kiosks are. So if they need a chair, certainly ask our staff. If you're bringing in your customers and they need any type of assistance whatsoever, please come up to a window and ask for help. We'll do whatever we can to accommodate you guys and your customers. Okay? One very important thing up there that we have listed is called business continuity. And this has affected, I don't know how many of you, but certainly a lot of customers over the course of the last couple of years. One of the things that we have not been really good at is having the ability to work when there's an outage. And 3 times this year already we've had outages where we've had to actually turn customers away where we couldn't issue marriage licenses. So we have implemented several things since that can help band-aid things like a power outage or we lose our network connection. But we are now working with our vendor to develop our software so that we can completely work offline in any type of outage situation. I don't know when we're going to have that in place. They are currently working on it. The funds have been approved. They are working with their development team. We're hoping that by the end of the year, sometime during the first quarter, that's in place. So our goal is that, we're supposed to be open 8 a.m. till midnight every day of the year, and hopefully that's the case, and we never have to turn away another customer and say, sorry, we can't issue your license. Come back in a few hours or come back tomorrow. So I know that's impacted some of you. I apologize for that. But this will help remedy that situation, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay. New married names, just wanted to kind of touch on that as well. Beginning of this year, the law was passed, went into place where we allow couples to designate new middle and/or last names on their marriage license and certificate. And we were kind of concerned about that. We talked to you guys that have showed up at the meetings. You guys were a little concerned as well as far as how to understand it, the different options that are available. Well, we can tell you that it's actually gone very well. The number of amendments or corrections to marriage documents that we have has basically been cut in half. Now, I don't know if that's because customers type in their own information and we were typing it in before. I don't know. But it at least was designed in a way where couples can pick the names from a drop-down, right, and not necessarily be like other states where they can come up with names and have it be free form. So we hope our online application process has helped to mitigate that, make that a smoother process. I don't know if any of you guys have struggled with that in any way, but we're happy, at least from the perspective, is that it hasn't really impacted our operations. It hasn't increased the amount of time it takes a license to come in, a couple to come in and get a license. It's about the same amount of time. So it's been, I think, has gone very well. You guys have any comments or concerns about that? You guys kind of deal with your couples? No? Okay. Well, that's good. That's good to hear. We haven't heard any negative feedback on it. It is a little bit confusing. The one thing I will tell you that comes up the most is if you have somebody that has a really long last name and they want to combine it with their spouse's last name, the only way we can do that is with a hyphen. That's the only way the law allows us to do it. Some people will want to do name, space, name, and unfortunately we can't accommodate that. And Social Security and other government agencies can't accommodate really long names. So even though we might be able to give them the name they want, they might take their marriage certificate to Social Security and they're like, we can't use that long last name, it's too long, you're going to have to shorten it. The unfortunate thing about that is they have to come back to us and do an amendment to get it corrected. So if you notice you have couples, you might want to be aware of that if they ask you about changing the name, because even though they're designating a new name through us, it's actually not the legal name change. They still have to go to the Social Security Administration or the state or local government agencies to do that. So other than that, that's really the only issue that we've found. The question?
I was just going to say, a lot of people, when they come with that, they think that they already changed their name.
Yes.
So I have to tell them, like, no, you didn't yet. So
Right.
I assume that they're already done with that part because of that. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's perfect.
Yeah, no, that is one misconception, is they think that they've changed their name because they've designated it with us, and unfortunately that doesn't constitute a legal name change. We do provide everybody, I don't know, I refer to it as the blue sheet, which is how to change your name, and we hand that out with every license. So you certainly, one thing I'd encourage all of you to do is make that available to your customers as well. So if they think that, you can provide them that sheet, and hopefully that explains the process to them.
What is the average length of time it takes for the process for the marriage license?
I'd say the average amount of time is about 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. It really depends on the couple, how prepared they are. The biggest issue that we typically have is people don't have the right ID. And with names, when they type their names in online in the pre-app, or when they do it in our lobby through the computer, they might put John H. Jones, and they really want to use Henry, but on their driver's license it has just an H. And we can't let them put Henry if they don't have some identification down that doesn't have the name spelled out. Kind of the catch-22 with that is Social Security and DMV no longer allow you to use initials. So you would have to go in there and have your birth certificate or something that has the full name spelled out, so you can get your driver's license with John Henry Jones, but your marriage certificate may still say John H. Jones. Okay, so please be aware of that as well. Anything else? Thank you.
I'm going to kind of go over these again real quick, comments that Carl didn't say, but the vending machine, it's mostly for water. It's been really heavily used, and we've been struggling for years on how to not let people get dehydrated or faint in our lobby because it's so hot out there and a lot of them walk. So we're really pleased that that's there. So far, it's been very successful. The remodel, and something that we don't have in the slideshow, but you brought up, is the safety glass and some of those. So, and I'm going to let you know. The reason we tell you these kinds of things is because you're kind of our voice in the community. So we are happy if you spread the word on these things. So we've been working very hard with Homeland Security and the terrorist group to do everything that we can to make sure that the Marriage License Bureau is as secure for you guys and our staff as possible. We have protocols in place now that on exit strategies, and we will do everything that we can to address an active shooter or something like that if it happens. So we are thinking about these things, and we are taking every action that we can. We've been actually working closely with Sheriff Lombardo's team. They've been great, a great partner on that. Provide us additional exits that we didn't know about, and we're still trying to get the final access to. We want our staff and our couples to be as safe as possible, and because we're so high profile, we just want to make sure that that doesn't, attract the kind of attention that we don't want. But we are working in that. We're doing everything we can to make sure everybody's as safe as possible. The business continuity, I know that was really hard on a number of you guys, especially, the standalone chapels that have people coming so regularly. We take that, again, very, very seriously. We're working with our vendor. We finally got the money to do some internal repairs so that those, none of those this year were from the Marriage License Bureau. It was external outages from the county or from, I think, a switch, power switch. And so what we're doing is saying, okay, how can we address this with the vendor? How can we address this so that if this happens again, we actually don't have to shut down? And that's what we're working on. And hopefully by the beginning of the year, maybe not quite, but we hope to have all that in place again by the beginning of next year. And then the new married names, you guys again are the first line of talking to the couples way before we talk to them. So any advice and guidance that you can give them on how to fill out the forms or what they need, it's the real ID that really has made the major difference, because they're so strict now. We have become a lot more strict because we don't really have a choice, because we can't give them something that the real ID won't accept. So again, if you have any questions, call us. If the couple has any question, they can call us, but help, guide them through that new married name change. And what we've been encouraging couples to do, because this is not a legal document, it's not a legal change when they change their marriage certificate, but if they change their marriage certificate and then they go and then they change their mind, they have to come back and fix the marriage certificate. So we've been encouraging people, if they're not 100% sure, then just don't do it, because it doesn't give them any real great benefit, and it may restrict them. So any questions or comments about that? Because we actually think it's been going so much smoother. Thanks to your help a lot last year when we kind of talked this to death. I think we came up with solutions that really seem to have worked.
That's a spot they're actually allowed to leave off and leave blank.
They do not have to put anything there, and that's probably ideal. But if they want it, they can do it. And then I think the biggest thing has been that drop-down menu, so it's a forced choice of things that are acceptable. So they can't put something in and then we go, oh, which was my major concern. 1 minute time in the marriage, 1 extra minute at the counter for every license is 3/4 of a staff time. So any 1 minute doesn't sound like a lot, but 1 or 2 minutes, and now all of a sudden we've really impacted the efficiency of the office and their ability to process couples to get them back to you. So that's why we kind of chose these things, that everything we could think of, and with your help, we thought of a lot of them apparently, that could reduce that impact on the at the counter. And there's just a couple, kind of anomalies, like Carl was saying, too long a names we can't address, and we can't. The state, the way the law is written, forces that hyphenation whether we want it or not.
Yeah, on the pre-app, when they're filling it out, online application, they'll fill in all their name information, then they have a radio button to choose, I do want to or I don't want to designate a new name.
I haven't been through that part because I haven't gotten married.
And just this again won't be in the slideshow, but again, if they fill it out way ahead of time, they get that free .vegas domain name and website. So encourage them to use that and encourage them to keep it, put everything on it, not just their wedding planning, but, their first baby, their first house, their graduation, whatever it is, because that's a great tool for us to continue to promote Las Vegas as they use it over the years. So encourage that. It's a gift from the county and from the wedding chamber and from .vegas. So, encourage that use. It's good. It's good for us in the long run. Marriage licenses. We have not been recovering after the shooting. We're down quite a bit. As you can see, the pink line is our line for this year, 2018, and it's significantly down at about 3,500 for the year. So that is not good. That doesn't mean we are given up, but that's the reality. So you can see we did just a little under 80,000 weddings licenses last year, and so at month 6 we should have been, we'd have to double month 6 to beat our record, and we're not beating our record. So again, your help and support and promotions really will make a difference. There's a lot of excitement across the valley. There's a lot of new businesses that are getting involved. I think the chamber has a number of new businesses joining the chamber. We're doing events that we'll talk about later, but we all have to continue to promote Las Vegas as the best place in the world to get married. And I think we will revive, but it's going to be hard work, and I think that we are the team to do it. I guess I just wanted to show. This shows that tourism in Las Vegas has increased, so it's not tourism, it's weddings. Weddings across the country have increased, so again, it's not weddings, it's Las Vegas weddings. So we just need to get our market share back, and we're working on it. Now, can you make that move? Okay, so this is not our graph, but it's a graph that uses Esri as a GIS software that the county, I guess, was one of the first adopters. We were number 7 adopter. And we have been talking with the Esri team as well to try to do some of these moving infographics to show what is going on with our industry. I'm really excited about it because I think this shows people much more graphically information than you can in the table that I just showed you and that graph I just showed you. I'm sure we haven't gotten there yet. We just met them last week. But I'm sure that we're going to be able to present our information in a way that is more interesting and accessible. And we have the largest marriage database, I think, in the world. And so we've been working with those to also come up with more information that might be interesting to outside people or researchers. And if we, again, can position ourselves as the experts of the world as well, and so that every time somebody thinks of marriage, they think of Las Vegas, that's going to help us in the long run. And so this is a tool that we hope to use for that kind of thing. As you can see, everybody keeps saying, oh, Hawaii is beating us, Florida is beating us. This is from 1970. I think it ends in 2011, so it's not up to date. But nonetheless, we're in a whole different bar than anybody else, because we so outperform every other state. And you can see no other state ever jumps to our bar. And despite our decline, we're still on a completely different scale than anyone else. So we are doing okay. We just need to do better. But I just think this is really interesting, the way it kind of intuitively shows people how things work. And it's kind of fun if you want to go to that at some point. It's just kind of fun to watch it and look at different states, your home state, or whatever, see who's grown. At Arkansas, you can see, does very well. It's really built its in a wedding industry. So there's other states that have that are competing with us, and we need to compete back. Any questions about that? I'm real excited about it, even though I don't know exactly how we're going to use it yet. Go ahead. It will be in our PowerPoint, so you can look at it. And yeah, I love how it changes over time. If you see, did you see 1978, 99, 80? So we'll be able to do that as well with some of our data. People are saying, millennials aren't getting married. Well, we'll be able to look at that kind of stuff and show them that that's just not true. So. we have some things that have been happening, and I want to show you some of the videos. So this is what the LVCVA presented to us to show what they have done last year. So you can go ahead and show that. Can everybody see? Again, all these links are going to be on this when we post it. What's the next one? So we now have the first major wedding video included in their regular advertising campaign, which I'm really excited about. So I don't know that we'll show you all of both of these, but this is specifically about weddings, and this is in their major campaign, not just the wedding campaign. Oops, that's different.
As our favorite Hollywood celebrities grow
this is
older,
different. You just let them just play it. This was actually a piece that they got in, where was it?
First, he married Anne Margaret on screen in Viva Las Vegas after belting out the film's title song.
Viva Las Vegas! So the LVCVA has
Then
been
on May
pushing
1st,
the Las
1967,
Vegas
the king of
wedding
rock and roll
market
married
industry, and this is a
21-year-old
piece
Priscilla
that was
Beaulieu at
produced
the
by an
Aladdin on
outside
the Strip. The
news
hotel's
organization.
long gone, but 50 years later, Elvis and Vegas weddings still go hand in hand at a little white wedding chapel where an Elvis impersonator can help you say your I do's.
His name is Jesse, but we call him Elvis.
A Little White Wedding Chapel dates all the way back to the 1950s when Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward took their Vegas plunge. Mia Farrow and Frank Sinatra exchanged vows here in the 1960s. Declare your love inside or drive through the tunnel of love where you can get hitched without getting out of your car.
We've had so much fun at that drive-up wedding window.
You can also tie the knot at the nearby Chapel of the Bells, just like Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos did in 1996, reliving the moment on live.
This is exactly like it was.
Here in Vegas, Flora Pop-Up Weddings can help you take your trip down the aisle in the middle of nowhere. Bride and grooms to be can soar above the strip on the high roller, or make it official at the Mob Museum downtown like Carl and Lori from Rhode Island.
Awesome opportunity to do it in a fancy way.
For a more traditional setting, you can't beat the view from the Sky Villa at the Palms or the decor at the wedding salons at Wynn Las Vegas. The Venus Garden at Caesar's Palace is fit for the gods, and the team at Aria will spare no detail on the big day. Plan the wedding of your dreams at visitlasvegas.com.
So this again was an outside news organization that put this piece together. The LVCVA has been pushing Las Vegas weddings. We still get, I think, an overpreponderance of the vintage Vegas chapels, which we love, but we also offer a lot more. At least they included the other options in this video, which is kind of new. So we are slowly changing the conversation from all we do is Elvis weddings to all of the things that Las Vegas has to offer. I'm not going to show you this whole thing. I wish we could like skip through the end. This is a wedding video, or not a wedding video. This is again part of their major campaign. It is about a couple having marital problems that reunite in Las Vegas. But what I like about it is if you can move it all the way to like the last, I don't know, 30 seconds or something. Something that I've been pushing with them for 4 years is, can you just include a bride? I mean, we see them all the way down, all up and down the strip. Every time you go, you see a couple that's in bridal clothes. Can you just include a bride in the background once in a while of your regular videos? Because it's accurate and it also shows what, you know, that we're part of Las Vegas. Is it going to work? No.
Dad? Mom?
Oh, this is the wrong video. So this is the proposal. Go to the, and then,
Let's get married!
what I love about this is it's part of their regular major marketing campaign. It's not just the wedding section that they've been kind of allocating us. This is part of their major 2019 marketing push. And then in this one about the couple that is not, you know, that's having marital problems and reuniting in Vegas, which is very romantic again. In the very end, they have a shot of a wedding-related issue, which I, again, appreciate.
Me too. Best decision I've ever made.
It's the best decision we've ever made. I've missed you.
I missed you too.
Oh, did we miss that? Oh, well, go to the next one. No, I think we've done them all then. Okay. Before you say I do, say yes to the dress. Is that ours? We already watched that one. Oh, yeah, I know it. Okay, yeah, we've done that one. All right. So this is from the LVCVA annual report to us. You know, we give them about $1.2 million a year. We've given them about $2.75 million so far. And so these wedding-specific initiatives are part of that wedding promotion fund that we got from the legislature in 2015, beginning in 2015. Again, what I really like about that last one is not our budget, it's part of their regular budget and part of their regular promotion. So it's not just like in a narrow stovepipe is what they call it. And this is their slide. So if you look on their website, visit lasvegas.com/weddings, which is kind of hard to find, but anyway, that's where all their content is stored. The most popular content, just the last section on that, the most popular pieces of content that people are looking at is getting married in Las Vegas, 10 reasons to have your wedding in Las Vegas, trends in getting married in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas wedding chapel. So it's, you know, it's good information that's getting out there. And what they're saying is that they have about almost 300,000 or 400,000 views of that content last year. All of their wedding content, but. So I don't know if, again, if you guys have social media, if you know this stuff, I'm just gonna go over it really briefly. So what they're saying is that on their website, they got 141,000 article views, 141,000 people looked, or at least articles were clicked on and read. And engagements, meaning somebody either shared it or liked it or did something like that, so almost or over 600,000. And then of the videos, really almost 4 million views of their videos, which is why the videos are, you know, more effective than print content. And then in public relations last year, they got $27 million in free publications. So again, we gave them about 1.2, so it translates to 27 million, so that's pretty good. And then this, and it's too small, but you can again read it on the web, you can go back and look at this stuff. So these are the places that they pitched for stories. So that's what that pitching means. So if you look at that, they've approached these publications or these writers from these publications and said, hey, do a wedding story, and here's some of the stories that came out of that. And again, last year, oh, here's the stories that came out of it, sorry. So the other one was who they pitched. This is what stories actually came out. And then, as you can see, the promotions that we have really been on the forefront of, the Las Vegas Marries the Military generated almost $4 million in publicity around the world. The pop-up marriage license at the McCarran, again, almost $15 million in publicity around the world, and the Royal Wedding Month, almost $1 million around the world. So the stuff that you guys are helping us with is really making an impact, and we know that over time this is how we're going to transform Las Vegas as a wedding destination that's current and modern and very desirable again. So you guys helped us with all those. And then we did the royal wedding based on the Meghan Markle, and I talked to you, I think, about this last meeting, but based on Meghan Markle's wedding to Prince Harry. We tried to capitalize on that and did Royal Wedding Month here in Las Vegas. We did a great presentation, and again, it said we generated almost $1 million worth of publicity about that, even though there was a lot of competition out there. So Las Vegas still came up. So did everybody see the video that we made of for the Royal Wedding Month? Yeah, this one is from, we created this one and I love it. So if you want to show it, I appreciate that.
Caesars, come and roll the dice. The sun sets on Flamingo Road. My heart under Paris skies. She's got me, now I am never alone. And I know one thing is for sure. I'm falling for Las Vegas, where the lights they shine so bright. I'm falling for Las Vegas, more than a strip, it's a way of life. I'm falling for Las Vegas, not one dream is out of sight. It's so plain to see, she's been good to me, yeah. Oh, my lovely Las Vegas tonight. Oh, tonight, oh, tonight, oh, my lovely Las Vegas tonight. It's so plain to see, yeah, she's been good to me. Oh, my lovely Las Vegas tonight.
I love that. I don't know how many times I've watched it. I still love it every time. I suppose eventually I'll get tired of it, but that's exactly what I'm trying to promote with Las Vegas, all the reasons that people come here. And so as you, does everybody know what we did for the Royal Wedding Proclamation, that event? Okay, I'll go over that real quick. So you can see there, so we got May. I asked the County Commission to declare May as Royal Wedding Month, and so they said okay, and we were doing it. And then Commissioner Kirkpatrick said, well, like, so what are you doing? And I said, well, I don't know. I'm going to go up there and get the proclamation. She goes, well, no, make it big. So I said, oh, okay. So we worked with a local PR company, made that video. We introduced the video, and then at the end of the video, the doors come open, and we have a wedding processional come down the aisles. And so we did something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue with showgirls. So that was all man, and then the showgirls escorted them down. So something old was, guess? Elvis, classic, traditional. Something new was Chance. The Golden Knights showed up as one of our groomsmen. Something borrowed was Matt Goss, who so generously donated that video, that song to us to use however we want. And then Something Blue is Blue Man Groups, and then they came down and shot cannons all over the audience. So it was really fun. It was very, very fun. And then we did the Royal Wedding Watch Party at Top Golf, and had a great turnout, about 200 people, and we just had a great time. I hope you guys, did everybody get invitations to all those things? You should have been getting invitations, because we sent that out. We have to make sure that you're looking at our stuff too, because we did. We sent an invitation to the Proclamation Day, and then we sent an invitation to the Top Golf. So if you're not getting those, let's make sure that you are, because the more you can, again, help promote these things, the better for all of us. But we were really excited. That video is available. So we'll have it on our website, and we're changing the graphic from the Royal Wedding Month to just a Las Vegas. I'm getting a graphic for the Marriage License Bureau, and so that will be in the front and back. And you're welcome to use that on your in your marketing. Put it on your website. It's okay. Yes.
How can we make sure we're getting a lot of us didn't get?
Yeah, I don't know.
So what do we do to make sure that we?
Well, you should get probably tomorrow. Go ahead and have her say it on tape. Yeah.
No, I was just saying it looks like a lot of us didn't get notification for a lot of the things that are going on. So what do we need to do to make sure that we are on the list? Do we need to go online maybe and check the website? Like, what do we need to do?
Well, we are actually doing, and I was going to talk about it in a little bit. We're going to do the Vegas Marries the Military again. That notice should go out today or tomorrow, hopefully. We're just waiting for a graphic to be put on it. If you don't get something from us this week, then contact our office, because you absolutely should be getting something this week from our office. So if you're not, look in your junk mail. Make sure that you don't block us. But if you're not, make sure that you let us know, and let's figure it out, because I do want you to get all this information. Did you get? Well, y'all got information on today's event?
Regular event. I got this in my email.
Yeah. Well, make sure we have your emails, because we don't mail stuff out in general, because it's just too expensive. But again, you're welcome to download this video to use to promote your business. In a minute, I don't know if it's next. Let me just go. We created this graphic, how to get married in Las Vegas. People use that pretty effectively, especially out-of-towners. But if you have an out-of-town client, download it, use it. It's for you, as well as our clients. Use it, send it out to people, do a social media blast, how to get married, and see if you can get some additional clients that way. I mean, we want you to be using the stuff that we create. It's not just for us, it's for you. So I'm going to go back. Any questions? And then we have that QR code too that takes you to MLIC.Vegas, where they can get to the marriage license application. So if you have any questions or suggestions, let us know. That's what we're trying to do, is make it easier for you guys to get business and bring in business. So we're also doing, for Las Vegas, or for the Royal Wedding, we made a special graphic, and you saw that at the end of the video, and then we printed it on their envelopes, those white envelopes that you get, and then we used a special marriage license certificate, or marriage license that they could get if they wanted to, that had the Royal Wedding graphics on it. So we're trying to do more of those kinds of things. And so for 8/18, we have this Lucky in Love that we'll be doing the same thing with. It doesn't matter to you guys. There's no change. There's nothing you have to do. It's the same. It's legal. But we're just trying to make it more fun again for couples that are coming here to really enjoy coming here and feel like they're special. Any questions on how to get to these things or how to use them? No? Okay. Yeah, so we have a couple other graphics, but this is the main one I think that's really effective. So if you have, if you're doing a marketing push or something with use that, how to get married. This tells them, the legal details, but then they know how it works. So then the 2017 Las Vegas Marries the Military was the first time that we had done that. It was very hectic, very fun, very exciting. And we got about $5 million worth of press around the country. So that's the kind of thing that we are trying to do, showcase, again, all the different kinds of venues and weddings that we have to offer here. I know a number of you participated last year. I know Terry gave a really sweet, simple wedding in front of the, at Symphony Park in front of, what's it called? The Smith Center, thank you, couldn't think of the name. With a live little orchestra, or not orchestra, but like a three-piece band. It was charming. And then we had somebody go to the Wynn and have a wedding at the Wynn and with the Bellagio. And so just a wide variety that we are able to, again, push out those images and messages and let people know all the different things that we have to offer. So that email asking you if you want to participate should be coming out this week. Let's just swear it this week. If you don't get it by the end of the week, call us, because there's no reason you shouldn't have it by the end of the week. But then we need you to respond quickly as well, because we need to set those packages so that we can then put those packages out, and that will be the national push. We have been working with also, we've been getting a lot of press requests, which is great. One of the ones that's most fun, and I think, raise your hand if you were part of the Say Yes to the Dress team that came here. Nobody here? So who knows Say Yes to the Dress? Raise your hand if you've ever seen the show Say Yes to the Dress. It's really popular, and apparently they have like a Say Yes to the Atlanta dress, but Say Yes to the UK dress. One of our biggest feeder markets is the UK. We get about 4,000 to 5,000 couples a year from the UK. So the Say Yes to the UK dress came here, it shot 20 couples, and it's exactly what we want to see. That should be being broadcast either this month or next month in the UK and Europe. And so they showed them coming, going into their hotel, checking into their hotel, some of them coming to the Marriage License Bureau to get their license, getting their dress, obviously, which is the theme of the show, saying their vows, so that it showcases all the different kinds of venues, and then some extra thing that they did as well. So it's like a big everyone's a big advertisement for Las Vegas as far as I'm concerned. So I'm really excited about that. They're gonna see if they can show, I guess there's different licensing or something. They may show it in the US as well, we hope so. And then they approached us about 3 months ago about doing a Say Yes to the Las Vegas dress. And so we're working with them. We'll see what happens. I don't know, there's no guarantee, but that would be extremely exciting if we had our own show dedicated to Las Vegas weddings. And again, that's what's gonna change the market. I've already given you that one. I'm very excited about that because they got international attention last year because of the success and because of the way the community responded to them, and they absolutely want to be a partner with the community. And so we're so excited that we can say that they are also partnering with the clerk's office to promote weddings and promote the community and showcase us as the best place in the world to get married and the best place in the world to come and watch a sport. I told them that, we've been the wedding capital for 70 years. I know that you're looking to be the sports capital of the world, so we'll help you get there. And that's it for me, right? Yep. Any questions or comments? Oh, what happened to the legislative thing? Oh, we don't have a slide for that. So as you know, obviously the legislature is meeting next year, and I don't know if you do know, but if you want to build draft requests and those kinds of things, they're doing it now. So I just wanted to open it up to any ideas or issues or things that you might want us to move forward. We're meeting with, our meeting in September is with the State Clerks Association, clerks, recorders, and election officials. And at that point, we all bring forward all the ideas that we want to pass. Typically, you want to get everybody in the state to agree. If the whole organization agrees, then it's much easier to get it through. But I absolutely am open to ideas and suggestions on what you guys might want to see in the next legislative session. Not that you've thought about it ahead of time, but you can always contact me after today as well. But yeah, any issues or concerns that we might want to address in the next legislative session?
You see stuff we don't see.
Yeah, I'd like them to clarify what is confidential information on a wedding license, what we can keep confidential, because it's not clear at all. So I would like some clarification on that. I absolutely don't have enough tech budget. That's one of the reasons that we had to wait so long even for this fix that we needed, you know, that's shutting down the office. So I probably will be looking for a increase in the tech fee. We were thinking of putting it on the marriage certificates, but I'm the only clerk that does marriage certificates. The recorders are the ones in the rest of the counties that do the marriage certificates, and the recorders just got a fee, a tech fee, but the clerks need it. So I haven't figured that one out, but we absolutely need a bigger budget for tech so that we can get some of the stuff done. Like even this stuff we got through the last legislative session, we haven't implemented because we didn't have any money. So those are probably the main concerns that we're thinking of right now. Go back there.
Are you anticipating a lot of business for the 18th, you know, down in the Marriage License Bureau?
We probably will be the 17th more than the 18th. We typically are like the day before. Yes, and you guys have been telling us that the 18th is booking up and have been for months. So how was looking for you guys on the 18th? Who still has some space? Anybody? Or is everybody all booked? Yeah. Well, actually, most of you are booked. It looks like, which is good. The more we can say that, the better. I love saying that. So, yeah.
What was the website again with all the slideshows?
That will be our website, the clerks. So, clarkcountynv.gov is, and then /clerk. And where do we store that?
There's a link on the menu for Officiant, and then when you hover over that, there's a drop down that says Officiant Resources.
Right. Yeah, and that's where the barcode is. That's where the video would be. So Officiant Resources is where we put all the stuff that we want you to be able to download or have access to.
It'll probably take about till the middle of next week before we get the video of this presentation put online.
So any other questions or concerns or anything that you guys want to talk about? Yes, that was, yeah, how do we go back one? Yes, the next Officiant meeting is scheduled on November 28th. Is that? Yeah. It's also, the schedule of meetings is also available on the clerk's site, and we will be putting up next year's. It just depends on when we can get this room. So that's why we don't know. We can't just like, yeah. So that will also be on the website. It's November 28th. And especially legislative issues, try to think of that for the next meeting, because but after that, it's going to get too tight, right? Anything else? Thank you.